Cologne. Let's see who takes this best of three. It culminates now on Dust2, and we're just waiting for Na'Vi to finish hugging this one out, and then we're going to get in to this pistol round.
Usually I'm all in favour of a little cuddle, but when it's delaying the Counter-Strike, I say sit yourselves down, strap yourselves in. mousesports dying on the T side. They're going to go for a default.
Loads of grenades. We got 4 sets of util here. No kit for Na'Vi. They did pick the CT side after that knife round win. As to be expected at this point, but mousesports, what do we expect from them? Where are they going? The bomb heading towards tunnels. We've got Frozen in lower. Still some waiting players for mousesports holding long and middle in case anyone wants to get aggressive. Common to see Cat push for Simple. He's up there as well. He's not going to go much further just yet. Frozen is waiting for him if he lurks under. Bob's getting spotted at B, looking for a P250 kill as he's been dropped that over by Chris. They get this kill, they can burst in off the back of it. There is only one man inside of that B site, but we know the door change has freed up the ability for Perfecto to assist in middle. Talking of middle, Simple's dead in that area to do Karrigan's P250. A risky fight to take with half of his team's utility, but that's a big kill for Robs into the B bomb site. They won't go running in. They don't need to go running in because Karrigan is taking long. This is just fights all over the map for mousesports, and now they're going to hit B. Na'Vi already ready for it, beginning the flank.
Yeah, Perfecto's nade going to find a little bit of damage, but not enough to write home about. Rops the bunny rabbit, hops into the site and deals with him pretty swiftly. This is where the flank comes in from Boomich. He does get one. Nade out. Throws that in. Woxic. Ooh, I thought that was going to do more, if I'm honest. But Woxic, yeah, still fine, and he's going to get his revenge. Nades are one thing, but bullets are another. Electronic 1v3. And this is a pretty tall order here. Is he up to the task? Half the time ticked off this bomb, so he really doesn't have much to play with here. Does have a smoke to maybe try and get him out the tunnels, but yeah, he's not going for it. He's just waiting around, hoping that players come his way on the exit. And Woxic, well, he might oblige.
I like that pistol from mousesports because despite having 3 in tunnels with the bomb, Na'Vi never had that information, right? Despite having a lot of info, they had middle. Long was lost thanks to Karrigan getting out there with the P250, and Rops is solo peeking B, so Na'Vi don't have enough info to go, yeah, it's a B play. They've only seen one dude in the tunnels. Rops gets a kill as Karrigan gets Simple down mid, and then Na'Vi just scrambling for info. They fight on long, they at least trade back there, and that just clears out long, and Boomich pushes middle. So, you know, at that point they realize, but then Rops gets his B pick, and they just go running and gunning in. So, yeah, mousesports denying information to Na'Vi, and also not denying the long control. Heavy flashbangs going through, and Frozen jumps to the blue bins. Woxic wallbanging Flamey later in the round. There's a gun there for Boomich to grab. But are you sure you want to take on Woxic here in middle? Woxic doesn't have a pistol either, so just sticking with a primary. Maybe there's one dropped in spawn. You're going to want something to fall back on if you miss your scout shot. Na'Vi have 2 of them still left up, and mousesports with this early kill are going to group towards long and just commit onto this A site.
Oh. Just a tickle in response from Woxic. Simple. Ooh, with his scout, makes quick work of Woxic, but there's the trade from Frozen. Electronic going to tuck himself into Gandalf, and let's see if he lets them pass. Karrigan gets into the site and is going to plug in these numbers now. Electronic still just waiting ever so patiently in this position. Both players now spotted down in CT. This is where Electronic is hoping to pounce. A little 2-tap to deal with Karrigan. There's still players at ramp, and one of those being Frozen is trying to deal with Electronic, but he can't. There's the lineup for Rops. Electronic still fighting. Ammo going to start to become a problem with the CZ, and Rops gets it back under control. A sigh of relief for mousesports as they get that second round on the board.
Yeah, that lineup does everything for them. Without that, then that could have been a really problematic retake against mousesports for Na'Vi.
A little bit of a sigh of relief over on the B stream for complexity as well. They've taken down Mad Lions 2-0, although overtime, just the one on Nuke.
That's a win I feel like we would expect here. Hopefully Mad Lions can build into the tournament, but again, like, you know, there's not a lot of room here in ESL One Cologne. There's so much competition. With recent roster changes, some teams will be struggling off the back of that. Oh dear, these dinks.
Well, it's good to see the big boys back, not struggling at all. This has been quite the series so far.
Oh, this is terrifying.
Yeah, it shouldn't have gotten this close. It's only the USP, so thankfully Rops and Carrigan are going to kind of return some normality here. This last bit doesn't really need to happen, it feels like. Flamey up through short, and it's just a question of when will he go down as opposed to if. Armored only a USP. Like, maybe, I was going to say, like, the only player he can really deal with is Carrigan, and he's all the way over at long, so that one gets swept under the rug. Rops up 7-1. That's a nice start here. As he looks to continue his stellar performances from the last 2 maps, top in the charts, both on Nuke and on Trade. Now we got the investment for Na'Vi. That's where things get exciting again. So for anyone who kind of tuned out in that previous round, tune back in, because this is where things will pick up a notch. Simple. Going to be donning that AWP for Na'Vi, as we've come to know and love, and he's taking that over here towards A. Going to flash his teammates in for a long peek. They get established. Look at that, just running through mid. And, well, you know, it looked cool. It looked like something great was going to happen. And then that's what we get.
Yeah, you see people do that, usually coming in from like lower route, but Woxic going full suicide and running down suicide to get there. It's not going to work, not with a scout either, that he hit a tag. Flamey locking down middle as mousesports look to take catwalk against this AWP of Simple. The flash is good. Simple has to fall off with his Molotov. Gun wasn't out in hand anyway. That's at least position game by mousesports, but they don't even have long yet, and Frozen has no utility nor teammate to get flashed out into this position, so he's going to have to concede as well. Mousesports grouping up on mid. Oh dear, Flamey's gone out wide with that second orb and taking a tag onto Carrigan. Mousesports getting bruised and battered before they even find a successful fight here in this round. Now after that mid-fight, Na'Vi fall back into a double B setup. Mousesports are going to fake it out with a Molotov and CT smoke. Carrigan trying to sell this fake, but the rest of mousesports jumping up into A. Gravity takes Rops down. A Simple hits a shot. He follows up with a kill as well. Sees Chris's head, duck down, creeping and crawling towards the site. Nothing Simple can do but wait. And Chris, he might be able to open up a bomb plant, but past that point, this is going to be a nigh on impossible round for mousesports.
Oh, this is horrible for Chris J. What do you even do? They're everywhere. They are everywhere. They're in the walls. Electronic going to deal with it. And Na'Vi, they take that round by storm. It is flawless. Everyone stays alive. Simple holding down catwalk. That's a terrifying sight indeed. I love this double AWP as well that they run with Flamey here on Dust. You know, there's even been a few games where it feels like in the beginning, Flamey starts to like outshine just because mid and that B site can be so good with the AWP. There you go. Poor Rops, man. Just trying a CT drop. Going to be the reinvestment for Mouse. They do have a bit of a bank of cash. Woxic has a long spawn as well, but actually I hear typing. Oh no, that's never good. That's never good. What's broken now? What have you done, Hugo?
I may have kicked a PC. Servers crashed, Harry.
I feel like we've done quite well so far to not have any technical issues. So you know what, day 2? I'm chilling with this.
I'm looking at everyone here. Everything's in order. It all looks good. Na'Vi, they check out. So it's mousesports. Mousesports are the problem. What have they done? Mouse, what have you done?
They lost a round and it all went wrong. That's what happened.
Yeah, look. Things look a little more animated here. Carrigan's typing. What's going on? Yeah, Chris J. Of course it's Chris J. What's happened here then? Mousepad, you spilt something, haven't you?
Okay, the reason there is a mousepad, no word of a lie, producer Thomas just told me there is a bee in Hamburg that is buzzing around mousesports gaming room. That is why you can see Carrigan looking up. That's why you can see Regin wielding a mouse mat. And that is why we get a delightful view of those shorts.
Let's watch it.
On Chris J.
Okay, no,
absolute baller.
Mad respect for the cup and paper, because that means they're catching the bee and they're rehoming it. Big fan of that. It looked like Chris J's intention was to murder it. So, you know, like, I much prefer this solution. Lots of groin here. That's good, right? Carrigan's just analysing the whole situation, man. He can't believe, he's never seen anything like it.
Chris J looks terrified. How many Counter-Strike players does it take to get a B out of your boot camp? That is the question. It turns out no one, because none of the players are stepping up to it. It's all down to mousesports management to make sure none of them get a little sting on their game hands.
We don't know that B is not a Na'Vi spy in disguise.
That's
I mean, not very good disguise.
They are basically B
black.
colored.
Yeah.
Look, man, like that's it. We figured it out.
Have you seen, though, gents, the Asian Hornets? First it was COVID, then Asian Hornets hitting America. I don't know if you saw them. They are massive. And to be fair, I do not blame Chris J for getting the heebie-jeebies.
Heebie-beebies.
Heebie-beebies indeed, but it looks like we're nearly ready to get back into the server. No damage was done, so there's no rounds conceded. It's all fair, it's all game. Na'Vi not making any fuss, given that they just won that last round.
No bees were harmed in the making of this tournament.
All right then, lads, we're back in. Voxic trying to be a little bit more careful down suicide this time. Not quite chasing his way down. He knows Flamey's there mid-CT waiting for him.
Well, so Mas is more in Spanish, and there's B Mas, and right now I think that mousesports want anything but, right? They don't want more Bs. Here's Voxic down through mid, looking to get stuck in with the AWP, and he's now creeping out into middle. The B problem has been dealt with. They've rehomed it. Shout out mousesports. Also, Chris J, can't believe it. I always am pegged as a nice guy. These are our friends. Let's remember that. Now, Chris J lining up a flash. Looking to get Carrigan in over towards short side, but there's no one here for them to find. And they actually just leave it all together. They leave middle. They go back. And, you know, we've had Bs in two senses of the word now. One in the boot camp and one here in the server. mousesports feeling inspired as they get ready to move on in. Flamey, open hand, and he's going to prove to be a bit of a nuisance, buzzing around at the back of the site. Rops finds him, Perfecto now. Oh, removed as well. Carrigan out in mid. And this is where the mousesports hive mind have to try and pull together to see this one through. Voxic getting that bomb down. Long flank from Boomich all the way in through T-spawn. Voxic waiting for a peek. Carrigan holding at the van, playing the trigger discipline, and follows up onto Simple as well. Boomich does deal with one player over here inside of the B site, but is he ready for Rops wrapping in through the lower tunnels? I don't think so. Not considering that as an option, and there's Rops dealing with him. The beekeeper, as he keeps that one under lock and key. It's mousesports moving on to 4.
I feel like we've opened a wormhole, Harry. We've opened a Pandora's box, and yeah, that's a dangerous game with you and your tricky words. Mousesports, they're looking good. They're looking in control right now. Flamey not as happy about that round because Na'Vi falling short in another rifle round. They're going to rebuy back in. No AWP in this time. Rops is just continuing his stellar performance all day long. 9-2, top of the server right now. Voxic sitting in the molly, hoping Flamey goes in for the repeak, but it's not going to happen, so burns off half his health. Boomich waiting close in the smoke. There's a run boost out for Voxic to try and take this mid-control. Wary of an aggressive cat player. Oh, here, flash into the B site. Rops goes quick, and he's going to get Perfecto off the top of the box. He's fully blind, nothing to do. Simple tries to assist. If he can transfer to 2, that's a big hold. And now mousesports will be sent elsewhere. They can't come out through mid. That was only a 2-man effort towards B. Luckily, these earlier kills gained by mousesports have kept them equal. Na'Vi have yet to rotate, though. They are still in CT spawn, regaining ground up on A. Carrigan looking at the ground, frozen on the flank, and he's hit the perfect timing, but not perfect enough. Flamey trading. Carrigan now stuck in the 1-on-2, and I like the disengage from Flamey. He falls into the spawn, he gives away the plant, and they play this as a unit. They could boost, they could jump, or they could just walk up the ramp, and Carrigan will come to them instead. Na'Vi, patient in the spawn, find their second.
I just love Flamey on Dust, man. Like, I feel like, you know, he's always someone that you know's there, but he's not like a name that you reference in the same way that you do someone like Simple and Electronic. Yeah. Here on Dust, there's just something about it. Like, his double AWP is great. His ability in these retakes is stellar. He is just such a complete player on this map and just such a menace. Like, look at this first kill. And then pivots back, deals with this flank from Frozen. That kill there really does make all the difference, because at that point in time, he suddenly goes from like looking like the mastermind to someone in a very rough spot. He's getting pincered from Cat and Long. He pivots, instantly drops back into CT, as you mentioned, Hugo, that disengage, and then just approaches it in the 2v1 with Simple. That's what we want to see. It's just Deegs now for mousesports. And what looks like a long take. Now, this might be easier said than done for the Mouse crew, especially with that deep molly. That's going to allow Boomich to work his way up close And he's might be far deeper than Mouse are ready for. There's one gone. Follow up. And Boomich just making quick work of these pistols.
We've been seeing Na'Vi smoke mid at the start of the round. This round, they smoke mid and they delay cross. They take a second there. Obviously very scared of potential orcs or scouts fighting down the doors. But the good thing about the recent B door changes is it allows you to do that. You can be a bit slower on that mid cross because you're able to Molotov the tunnels from middle early on. You don't have to get into the B site to throw effective supporting utility. So that's nice. Spectre gets that molly in early. No B-rush anyway. mousesports are just trying to take long. And, well, Na'Vi have grabbed it right from their hands. Pushed towards the door. Simple's fighting, and he will succeed. Closing out the round with 3 for Na'Vi. And everyone staying alive on that Antico as well is good news for them and their money, as mousesports are only looking to buy back in here and now. No AWP available either. Their B crunches have been nice, right? We've not seen any proper mid to B splits. Flamey has been effective there in shutting down whoever heads middle for Mouse, but flashing Rops in through the B tunnels has had success so far. So let's see if Mouse continue to focus on this B control. Only Carrigan going there this time.
I felt like you said the phrase B so much now since the situation.
I mean, it was
hear it the same.
Yeah, it might have been a wasp. We don't know. We're making assumptions here. Did we ask it?
Producer Tom said it was a B. I'm trusting him. Could have been a bumble. You've got to save the bees. They're very important for the environment, boys. No environment, no Counter-Strike. Because we'll be dead.
No honey.
Oh, that too. I went straight for the dark side.
Well, it's fun to focus on the inevitability of that. So let's let's dive back in to something to take our minds off of it. Carrigan over here at short. Flash is raining in towards long, going to allow the double peek from Chris J and co as they barrel on out. And now long control taken here for mousesports. Electronic looking like he wants to go aggressive, and Carrigan has absolutely no idea. The Molotov as well going to serve to cover up some of those footsteps as it blooms, allows the aggression to come in. And look at this, Na'Vi, they've completely left the B site. They have stacked up heavily on Catwalk. Simple's holding the cross, and that looked like a collateral waiting to happen, but they've dodged it. They find the kills. Boomich falls, and it's all on Flamey. I'll say it, I love him on Dust. Now would be a time to show us why. He's down in CT, trying to figure out how to approach this 1v2, and Rops, he's planted in the grossest spot he can think of. Flamey gets spotted, does get away with a bit of damage, but this is still a very tricky round for old Flamer.
Yeah, he's realized it. It's done. It's dusted. Regardless of that bomb plant, there would have been a problem later on. Thank you very much. I've lost my point now with the big B sign, but yeah.
He's buzzed off to the B site. How's that, Hugo?
He's saving. He's getting out of there. He wants nothing to do with this.
He's flown away. I hate myself.
Pest control are leaving the site.
I hate you too.
I mean, these are mice as well, right? We got animals on both sides. mousesports are going to get away with the AWP as well. It's a big upgrade considering they only had AKs coming into that round too. The long take's lovely. All comes down to Simple getting domed by Chris on this cross. Simple hits that shot, like you said, looked like a collateral. Na'Vi should have been able to hold A, at least trade better to set Flame up for a 1v1 on that rotation. But 1v2, Rob's getting the info, him being so far away, time is just not in his favor. So mousesports keeping things competitive. 3 to Na'Vi. mousesports going back for the long take. Woxic mollied out. This time won't take damage, but also will take a flash to the face and finds nothing.
Yeah, Simple's going to try and keep mousesports guessing, right? Always switching it up. This time going aggressive down here towards Cap with that AWP. Still noise being made by Frozen over at long, but he's left here pretty much alone. Carrigan's still nearby with the bomb. So this is still feeling like it could culminate in an A play, but the thing that makes me doubt that is Rops is still here in these upper tunnels, and Chris J is holding on to the bottom of mid. So either we're going to see them go for this cat control and then fall back into one of these B plays later in the round. That's something that they like to do, right? Have the smokes needed to try and get into mid, and this is them signaling that cat control, like they want to try and go for one of these A plays. You'll see now that Chris J has left bottom mid, rejoins the rest of the gang over in the B tunnels. Carrigan does get tagged on the peak. Crucially, right, we got Frozen and Carrigan over here in middle. They have 2 smokes, so that kind of solidified that this is the B split. Frozen tagged crossing. And now Na'Vi know as well as we do. Flamey's going to try and hold down the site. Chris J's already in, and that's the bomb going in first. That is the most important thing in the game, dropped within the bomb site. That is a disaster. Perfecto, Simple, they're both here. They're lighting up the scoreboard, and this round is as good as done. For Mao's 2 on 4. There should be no way back into this. Perfecto, maybe if they bind it, but they're not ready for him in the site. So this one's over. Perfecto and Simple hold on, and Na'Vi get a 4th.
That looked exactly like every B rush you've ever done in a pug. 3 of your teammates standing in the tunnels. No one wants to be the first going out. Obviously, it was actually a flashbang that came through that blinded all 3 players after the bomb got dropped, and they were just standing there jumping, trying not to get shot in the face. So that's unfortunate. And then mousesports, they just have to come in through late. And Simple is lighting them up with that AWP like we hoped. And it's worth noting, Simple, he got forced off of Cat from that flashbang after he legs Karrigan. That's like best case scenario. That's what mousesports are trying to accomplish. But he immediately drops CT. He runs through the mid to B smoke, and he spots and tags Frozen heading towards B. Simple already knew it was an execute. We had 3 players in and outside of the B site before mousesports even entered the tunnels. So yeah, that's a great reaction from Simple. He didn't fall for that Cat take into the A site, but let's find out what happens when mousesports actually get up Catwalk, because that seems to be the object of their desires.
Here we go. This is it. Simple. Ooh, missed shot. Tagged as well. Trying to fall back into the site. Now, you are running into Simple and Electronic. This is not the welcoming party that mousesports were hoping for. Nade, pretty brutal. Flash, pretty brutal. It's not feeling great. Molotov, even uglier. Uh-oh, this is gross. They're burning. They are burning. And here's Electronic. Maybe going to get the spray down. Simple helping out. They lose Boomich, but Simple at the crossroads is crossing them off his list. It's Rops, 1v4, Deeg in hand, and a very tricky round. Now, he does land that shot onto Electronic. Now he's looking for other players that were in rotation, dropping into CT. Perfecto's just... I thought he heard him, and I think he has. He turns back around, and now they're anticipating this mid-lurk. Rops a little late to catch anyone still crossing from B. He's trying to give us the signal that he knows what's up, but he doesn't. Flamey gonna find him, and it's 5 on the board for Na'Vi.
I love that double hold from Simple and Electronic on the A site. So much damage done by the utility. But on top of that, it's not just the damaging utility, it's the flashbangs. In the same way that they segregate Mouse's B site push in the previous round, they do the same on Cat. One player goes out wide, he dies, then a flash comes through, everyone's blind behind the smoke. And mousesports have to stop and slow down, letting Na'Vi throw in more grenades, do more damage through the smoke. Their flashbangs are excellent right now. And Electronic, he had 9 multi-kills back on train. He is showing up again. Great recovery rounds from Na'Vi. And now they're going to hit B fast. mousesports, oh dear, 2 missed shots. You can't afford that, Flamey. You're going to get overwhelmed now. Pistols out. He's tapping away. The flashes save him for only a moment. 2 kills. That knife for Frozen, killing Simple in the mid doors. What is going on? Double AWP for mousesports. They picked it up off the body of their foes. Perfecto going through into the B site, but he won't commit. Misses his opportunity. Tap on the site. It's Woxic with the bomb. He's waiting for support, and Boomich is on the long flank, but he is close behind.
Yeah, Boomich could end this whole round here. And now Frozen looking the wrong way, and now Woxic. This is horrible. He has too many angles to keep an eye on. Even with his 3K EDPI, it's not enough. 6 for Na'Vi as they pull ahead here. Still a very good round, considering that was pistols for mousesports. They also get away with a knife kill, so they've made money here. The bomb plant as well, even going to add to that even further. Double AWP is a potential. We've seen, interestingly enough, we've seen Rops electing to be the man on that second AWP a hell of a lot. Now, that's very interesting to me because you've got Chris J in this team, and then even past that, you've got Karrigan, both of them with a history of AWPing. But it's been Rops donning it a lot of the time. I like the Chris for President sign in the background.
Get behind that.
I could get behind that.
I mean, he could be our Prime Minister in the UK if he wants. Like, I'm down. Anything.
Anything. Like, really desperate. Really, anyone, anything. We'll take it. Well, Boomich. Down here in the bottom of mid, and he's looking to lock down short side. Chris J does get out, but at what cost? Burning in the Molotov. The nade follows up. And that's a bit of a disaster. That's a bit of a rough start for Mouse. Nothing's really sticking right now for this mousesports squad. It's a last-ditch attempt at getting into B, and Rops thinks he can hold Woxic's hand on the push to get them in.
Ooh, Perfecto's hiding well behind the double stack. Rops has no idea. He's checking the car that's going to make him exposed. Perfecto hears a drop and he reacts, just trying to stay alive at this point, calling for a flashbang from his team, and no one here to help him out. Rops is fighting into the middle doors, very exposed. Woxic is going to save his teammate's life, and Rops can dart back out into the B bomb site, burning utility as fast as they can to facilitate that plant. But Na'Vi are coming in quickly with a flashbang. It's avoided. Rops taking down Boomich and into a 2-on-2. More utility here for Na'Vi. mousesports aren't giving them a leg. They aren't giving them an arm. No way back in. Electronics got to force it, coming through the smoke, hearing the scope of Woxic, and the flick back is perfect. 3, make it 4, get them all. Woxic shuts down the B retake, and mousesports pick up a 2-on-4.
Flamey just attempted the simple. He threw the AWP over the wall, picked up an M4, and then ran in through the window. You love to see it, but doesn't work out. Woxic on the other side gets that one at a locking key. It's 6-6. mousesports tying things up, keeping this competitive, and with that victory, bringing the economy of Na'Vi to its knees. They go for the force buy. Double AWPs out, and that is all they've got with pistols and armor around it.
Oh, that's so sick. Boost up for Simple. Chris comes out lower and gets a nice swift haircut. And this is a really important opening kill for Na'Vi, considering the buy, right? They've fully forced into this one. They have 2 AWPs and 3 pistols. Not a lot of weaponry. You're very reliant on this double AWP setup to do the damage. And Simple and Flamey, neither of which have armor. So massive opening kill. Flamey not going to play ahead of the smoke. Safe decision. Hanging around the edge anyway as Rops tries to put a bit of pressure on B. He has kept 2 players here. His bomb will be going up towards the A site right now, but it can always drop into a mid to B. And I think that's exactly where this is going. Karrigan's going to drop into the spawn and try and outflank Electronic. He sees him in the corner. Electronic doesn't hear it, but Simple gets the trade. That might be enough to set them up. Flamey's got another shot from the B doors, and with his teammate covering the tunnels, as long as he can hide in the site and buy more time, mousesports are in a very uncomfortable 2-on-4 once again, but it's the same 2 back up to no good.
Flamey nails the first shot. Woxic now on the angle, but surely not ready for Perfecto as well. That there is the big question mark. Perfecto gets legged on the no-scope from Woxic, but not the killing blow. It's 7 for Na'Vi. That full buy, putting everything they can into that round, gives them the results they were hoping for. Flamey just dominating at the B bomb site. And Simple on this opener. I love that that's how they play around it, right? Like, you've got Simple, you've got him on an AWP. No one else really has anything. They throw him up into the boost to just strip a man away early on from mousesports and kind of invert that pressure, put it all onto the T side. Oh, goodbye, Woxic. Tries to peek down middle. Simple's a little faster off the mark, and he even follows up onto Frozen.
Yeah, Simple's gotten better every map of this series so far, and now peaking in the 3rd is exactly where we need him to be. Na'Vi looking for an 8-6 at bare minimum here, as mousesports save for the last round of the half. Simple going back towards B, chucking in a Molotov as Perfecto has no more utility but a single flashbang. The bomb is waiting outside of B, but Simple, he might not let them even worry about the bomb. He is removing every player from this round, flashing Boomich into middle as well. Chris, he dodges it for us. It seems like he dodges it, but I guess not. And Rops gets a dink onto B, but this is already a lost round. He hasn't even taken the bomb with him, for crying out loud. But won't blame him. That round's already done. Na'Vi with 8, and this is it. mousesports' last chance, looking to equal up the score at halftime. Well, not equal, but split it, rather, down the middle, Harry.
Be interested to see if they go for that beast, but again, it seems like Na'Vi have been especially successful at shutting down momentum on A, and so Mouse just aren't bothering with it. Full stop. It looks like they're going 3 to B yet again, not even bothering for info on the A side.
Yeah, and they're going to go early as well. They're not waiting around. We get that fake smoke in mid for Karrigan to cross catwalk, but by the looks of things, it's like mousesports want to go very early on into this site. And as I said, with Carrigan using his smoke, he's not going to be able to throw anything in mid to B. Na'Vi already beginning those rotations. Flamey, as the smoke blooms, takes the shot onto Frozen and now repositioned to the window for a second. This is a mow down. This is a lockdown for Na'Vi, and even hiding in the site is Perfecto, stalling as long as he can. He drops another. Woxic in the clutch. We've seen him do things crazier, though, in the past.
Electronic at the doors, wrapping in its Boomich through tunnel, and that there could be Woxic's undoing. He taps the bomb. They don't peek yet. They think it might be a fake, and it's not. Woxic, almost in with the flick. But Boomich finds it, and that there is going to be 9 for Na'Vi at the end of the first half of play. 6 for mousesports. Na'Vi with a 3-round lead in the third and final map of this best-of-3 series. Stick around for the result after the break.
We've been friends for a long time now. Always have a good time whenever we go out. But you've been calling me up all the time and sending me signs and giving me them eyes. And you've been saying that you found the one, texting me junk and you wanna talk but you can't say why. I can't get there and you know I've tried. You know I don't wanna waste your time. City lights, I'm looking in your eyes, but I can't say why. It doesn't feel right to call you mine. You know I don't wanna waste your time. I can't get there and you know I've tried, but I can't say why. Feeling lost like I just wanna time back time. Choked up, tell me how do I say this right? Cause you've been calling me up all the time and sending me signs and giving me them eyes. And you've been saying that you found the one, texting me drunk and you wanna talk but you can't say why. I can't get there and you know I've tried. You know I don't wanna waste your time. City lights, I'm looking in your eyes, but I can't say why. Doesn't feel right to call you mine. You know I don't wanna waste your time. I can't get there and you know I've tried, but I can't say why. Get there and you know I've tried. You know I don't wanna waste your time. City lights, I'm looking in your eyes, but I can't say why. Does it feel right to call you?
Well, Na'Vi fans are feeling happy right now. They owe a lot both to the forces of nature in their team and the mother of nature for putting a B in the mousesports camp, now 9-6 at the end of that first half of play. Pistol beginning, and Rob's taking an immediate peek in through mid. There's an Xbox smoke down. Na'Vi in the tunnels, and this Pistol for the second half well and truly underway.
Very little investment from both sides. It looks like Na'Vi, they're taking a leaf out of mousesports, but they're going to play it a little bit slow on this one. Boomich lurking for information towards mid. And actually, it looks like we're going to see a little bit of domination there. Simple with the bomb, waiting for that information to come in. But little does he know that Frozen is there. He's weighing on the other side at the end of B. But is he going to be able to stop once the call comes in?
Yeah, that's the big question, right, Frankie? It's going to be Frozen playing this little crouchy, cheeky headshot denial angle that there is over towards the back of B. Mid-smoke comes in. Rops, they tried to check this earlier and they thought they had. Carrigan tapping away in middle, isn't ready for the other man. Oh,
no.
knife out! Ah, he's missed, but he does get it. The second time around, Boomich stabbing Carrigan in the back. And now just Chris J and Woxic in this 2-on-3. They lose their captain. Oh, captain down here in middle. The bomb planted. What can Chris and Woxic do with this B site retake?
Woxic now moving in. He's searching for that information, but Perfecto, he's ready for him. Meanwhile, the wrap is coming in from Chris J. He's got those double doors in his sights. Perfecto, not really sure which way to look, but it looks like he might have got the info on Woxic. Chris J's making some noise, and Chris J's coming in with the wrap. Gets the sweet, sweet one tap onto Perfecto, but simple. Ooh! And Perfecto versus Chris is a 1v1. He's down to 2 HP. Perfecto, he knows he just needs to play for time, but Chris J, oh, at the last moment.
It was close. It was so close. Like, Frankie, I would have loved it if that was like your first bit of play-by-players, just Chris J mopping up a 1v3. But sadly, it's close but no cigar. You can see the frustration on Carrigan there. He gets knifed, man. That's a classic Carrigan frustrated face. We know it. And we kind of love it because we love the Carrigan face. But when it's frustrated, easy on the wall from mousesports. But is it easy in the server? That's the question. Woxic gets tagged on the cross and actually doubles back in towards this A bomb site.
Yeah, long take goes the way of Na'Vi. mousesports don't look to contest it too heavily. They will be boosting the scout back up onto the bomb site as Na'Vi do the same on long. Patient as ever. We know what Na'Vi's long control can be like. Robs is not. He is anything but patient. Pushing through the tunnel smoke. Flamey's going to clear it. The late lurk towards the B site is perfect. And with Robs dead, Frozen needs to stay here in anticipation of what could be a rush. It's nothing of the sort. It's Na'Vi holding default. And when you lose that man in a round like this for mousesports, you're going to feel the need to get aggressive, to try and find a trade. And all that's done is dig them deeper and deeper in the hole. Chris gone on long. Woxic finally gets peaked, and that earlier damage collapsed on by Simple Scout. Nice shot from Carrigan. Always good with the deagle, but is it going to be enough?
Oh, there we go. Frozen does deal with Flamey. However, this 2-on-3 still unlikely for Mouse. They've given themselves a fighting chance. Carrigan lying in wait over here at short. Deagle, maybe the stuff of legends here. It's going to have to be. Smoke goes in, and with that, that might be the round all said and done, right? Carrigan knows it, we know it, they hate to admit it, but it's what's happening. Wrapping in through long, it's going to be Boomich, and actually, mousesports still over here at short. They've had like a bit of a face-to-face meeting and a disagreement as to how this round was going to pan out. Carrigan wanted to save, Frozen wanted to go for it, and in the end, it's Carrigan trying to make the safe choice that gets taken down. So it's 11 on the board for Na'Vi as they deal with that force buy from Mouse relatively easily.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world losing the guns, right? It's not like they're going to have much to show for in the follow-up. Just flat USPs, you can imagine. Kind of round to get creative. mousesports often are with these pistols, with these full ecos, stacking up, head boosting.
I'm sorry. Why are you wearing a VP shirt on fan cam, mate? Decide who you supporting here. Come on, get your Na'Vi jersey on, but just make sure you've got a jersey on, to be fair.
That's better, at least he's wearing a shirt.
Yeah, because I'm British. I'm mostly offended by anything nudity. I mean, I'm shocked that you've got a short sleeve t-shirt on, to be honest.
I know, showing a bit too much skin.
It's distracting.
Shoulders are distracting, according to schools. Right now, Na'Vi is schooling mousesports, teaching them a lesson. A bit of a mid-push. Creative is a must here for mousesports, but the results aren't going to show through. Only damage. Electronic swoops in to assist, and they can just get out of here if they want. They've got 3 kills. Perfecto's coming in with full health from T-Spawn, and Flamey looks to make money. Simple yoinks it away. This round is done as quick as it comes. 12-6. Na'Vi in a commanding lead right now, and to think that they've only just started their T-side, this is where we love Na'Vi on this map. So it's going to get scarier and scarier. We are really relying on people like Woxic with that AWP to show us what he can do. Meanwhile, Chris, on the other side of things, 3-16, having a really rough start, or just rough map. It's not even a start. We're in the second half. And yeah, well, we need something out of someone at this point because Na'Vi have no signs of slowing down.
Perfecto's hung out to dry here. He could prove to be a liability. No one's nearby to help, and so he needs to kind of win this fight. It's Chris J down in pit. That nade might delete him, and it does. Great one from Perfecto to at least get a 1-for-1 out here towards long. Now Woxic posted up at car with the AWP, trying to drive by in this round. But it's the slowdown from Na'Vi. Signature move. They completely pull the brakes. Trying to dodge that collision at car over towards the A-bomb site. And this now puts the seed of doubt in mousesports' head, right? It's them sat in a 3-on-4. And they're the ones who maybe start to overthink. They're the ones who can start to shift around and move into some sort of gamble. Na'Vi, they're just going to wait patiently for as long as they can. Likely not even going to see them begin to move till that 30-second mark.
Ooh, Frozen holding very close indeed. Flamey is just selling this B fake, and that's going to keep two players here and one on the mid side as well. Woxic, he's rotating in, and Flamey's getting spotted. He will get taken down, but now the penny should drop here for mousesports. They realize it's nothing more but a lone Mac 10. It's a long take instead. Double smoke cross. Woxic, he's going to be rolling the dice here with a shot, but instead getting closer. Umij going for the wide long plant as well. Luckily enough, no one on catwalk to stop them. That Molotov down will deny any presence of mousesports. Yeah, this is probably the best call you can make. A save here. Both of their other players committed inside of B, nowhere near that A bomb site. Too far a rotation, and this round is too far gone. Na'Vi 13-6. 7 rounds in a row.
It's not just Chris J who's having a quiet map so far. Frozen as well. Yeah, he had his moment of glory with the knife kill in that first half, but since then, really, we're not seeing necessarily what we'd expect from him. He's not really getting those opening duels either. 1-4.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle, right? And that's like one of the problems when it's not just, you know, like one guy struggling a bit and you can try and like lift them up with the rest of the gang. It can feel a little bit tricky because it's like, you know, how do you lift someone like Chris J up? This guy's been through it all. What do you say to him to get him feeling it again? And then you look towards Frozen as well. He's been having a pretty rough time of things thus far, struggling at securing those openers. Obviously as well, he's found himself over here towards B, which has been like very hit and miss. So this round, Chris J falls out of the gate. The bad times just keep getting worse for Chris J. Burning in the molly is Boomich. That's actually a kill from beyond the grave for Chris. Woxic flashed off, and this time they might try and rush him down a little bit more. They didn't fight him the last time they were in this position, but now they look to challenge. Woxic holding for the cross back, snipes down Flamey, and that there leaves Mouse now back into a 3-on-3. That duel in mid really means everything, and Frozen falling a little bit short. Now splits this Mouse defense up 1-1 between either bomb site. It's Rops and it's Woxic, the two top performers thus far for Mouse. If anyone was going to be able to get it done, it's these two. Oh, simple. Gonna catch Rops over towards B, and this actually leaves Woxic now in what should have been a save. Maybe that peek from Electronics spurs him on to try this. And, you know, the odds very much stacked against him. He's very far away. And it's that, mate, honestly, it's the distance. It's the time that it's going to take. It's the fact that Na'Vi, they take mid. Oh, if only Woxic knew. Simple, don't go back.
You're crazy.
Oh, no. Woxic is hiding. They're all low. Everyone is almost dead. They're 11, 12, and 13 HP. Counting with Na'Vi.
Simple now saying, if you're going to bait me, Woxic, well, you know what? I am absolutely coming for you, my friend. He's just wrapping around, desperately hunting for him. But Woxic knows he's baited Simple to perfection. He's hiding back in pit. Who is going to win this 1v1? Oh, and it's Simple.
Yeah, I mean, I would usually put my money on Woxy to hit that shot, but I think at this point, you know, cracks are starting to show. mousesports are crumbling in front of our very eyes. You mentioned the opening kills for Frozen, Frankie, 1 and 4. Sadly, he's not the only one. The top performer, being Rops, is also 1 and 4 in OD. ODs. That's probably not what I'm going to call it. Opening duels. Chris is 0 and 4. The RNG meter really hitting him in these last 2 gun rounds. Both times he's had the long spawn. No one wants to do it, but sometimes you just have to try and get into that pit. And he just gets caught on the cross by Electronic this round. Another opening kill for Na'Vi. Add it to the trophy room.
I went to silence for the guy holding his phone up to the inverted horizontally camera, so it all reads backwards. That's sad, but
Guys, we know what it said.
it was a Boomich message.
It was Numa Numaye.
Boomer, boomer.
I think we know what we're listening to in the car on the way home, gents.
Oh no.
Well, let's see, right? Because we're already focusing on the journey home. There's still possibly some legs on this game. It's going to require a lot from mousesports, and we haven't seen anything yet that's going to give us much promise for that. But I've always got a degree of faith, and maybe I'll get proved wrong. Woxic opening up with a kill on a Boomich. That there has at least started Mouse off with a man advantage. That's something that they've not really had yet on this CT side. Is that enough? Chris J spotted down in the pit, this time by Flamey. Simple holding for the CT peek from Carrigan. The timing just couldn't be worse. Simple deletes him. Flamey's making noise at long, and he's kept 3 players at this A bomb site. If Na'Vi split into B, Rops is effectively in a 1v3 at this side of the map. The mid smoke goes down, and now Mouse are having to consider that this B play could be coming in. This is a little bit interesting, though, because Na'Vi, they start to take cat control now. They're still trying to leave their options open. It's not uncommon to see them leave it down to the last possible second. Alert gets dealt with, and now they commit up cat. Missed shot from Woxic, but he's got support. Plenty of it over towards long. Na'Vi darting back off catwalk. Now the B play looks to come through. Problem is, they don't have these mid smokes anymore. Electronic has got 1, but this still leaves a little sight line open to a man like Woxic. If he gets in the right place at the right time, he isn't even wrapping top mid. Uh-oh, he didn't kill Simple. That's always scary. Rops, can he hold down B? If he wins these fights, he wins the round, and only good for 1. It leaves Electronic. Woxic there, 7 for Mouse.
Yeah, he has come alive once he's grabbed this AWP on the CT side. Some big rounds, some big kills from Woxic. And he even comes in through that mid-smoke, knowing Simple's there. Frozen commed it across and beats him with a P2000 rather, and then closes it out here, not giving Electronic the room to get that bomb plant. Like you said, Harry, maybe still legs on this game, maybe still a chance. It's up against 14, which always feels all the more impossible, but we can't count mousesports out. Yeah, Na'Vi, if they hit B earlier, they probably would have won the round, but it was going up towards A, losing the man at long to Frozen in the corner, and then seeing Woxic on the car. That was the info that everyone was A and only a solo B player. Na'Vi, they're just going to hit it quick now. Rops and Frozen playing a crossfire, so blind though, they can't see a thing, and they'll just perish in the fire and flames. Boomich flashed out himself, sprays down Carrigan, and Na'Vi, they've turned the temperature up. They are cooking with gas. It's Chris alone, 1 on 4. Gets a second kill, but at this point, Na'Vi, unless they start to really overplay their hand and chase this one down with the bomb planted, this should be their round.
Well, now we're going on a walking tour of Dust2 with Chris J. He's going to take us through it as he tries to hold on to this AWP. Perfecto doesn't want to let him get away with it. He would have heard that scope in as well. Knows that he's up on short. He's made noise. And ooh, Perfecto getting caught. Chris J with 3. Doesn't want to give this AWP away. Should be fine. Should be able to escape now uncontested. Still, 15 on the board for Na'Vi, right? It's an AWP held onto, but is that going to prove to be valuable for Mouse? Chris J can drop a gun over. Rops has money to buy. The rest of the gang, it's a little bit more called into question. There will be 3 rifles, though, at the very, very least. An attack pause to try and help them out. Na'Vi stood on the finish line, and all that's left to do now is get across it.
Yeah, mid to B lurk for Boomish is excellent in this round as well. It's something we never really saw from mousesports on this T side. Something that was maybe lacking in that first half. They had some really successful B hits, but it was never coming out through mid unless they were throwing lurk smokes out CT spawn to go cat. So right now, Na'Vi just a fast commitment into B, and it works wonders. Great flashbangs as well. Both Rops and Frozen at the back of the site, fully blind. Frozen sits in the Molotov and just perishes because he knows no better. He knows nothing at that point. And well, now mousesports up against match point here for their opener in Cologne. They've had a great showing, right? Assuming this is over for mousesports, they should still be happy about the fact they've taken this to 3, but yeah, Na'Vi coming back in with full force. Their boot camp working wonders. Double up for mousesports. Karrigan's had enough of waiting around. Unfortunately, Na'Vi are the ones waiting around for him at the top of middle. Oh dear, bit scary. Karrigan might need to duck and dive out of this one. Na'Vi are peeling away from long to deal with him.
Yeah, he's going to stick around. This is an interesting decision from Karrigan. He is in a pretty rough spot and swinging out into the arms of Perfecto. That there is his demise. 4 on 5 now for Mouse. And with Na'Vi leading a few players into these tunnels, Chris JLO taking up the position of his fallen IGL. Is he going to fare any better? Chris J, what you got for us, man? What you been cooking up in the... Ooh, well, ultimately, mate, nothing. It's actually Flamey cooking with fire. 3 on 5 now. mousesports double AWP, MP9 for Frozen. Can they keep this game alive?
Oh, Boxing's so blind as well in the corner. Boomish has even gotten out through middle. This is just a cut off a rotate and nothing more. Rops is ready for it though. Won't fall for that trickery. Woxic wants to get aggressive as this smoke fades. Electronic turns around, but he sees the barrel. It gives it all away. Frozen flashes in through the smoke, but he doubles back, and probably rightly so, because there are 2 players on the right side waiting for his cross. Simple being one of them. The spray is good for Frozen, but the Molotov is better. It's going to push him back and keep mousesports out of this site for seconds longer.
It's the positioning of Flamey, you know, like being down in the pit, able to hold the cross that causes problems. Electronics at short. Every peak that mousesports try and take, they're going to have at least 2 guns trained in on them. Electronic can just wait as well till he hears these players having to direct their attention elsewhere. Now he swings out, and that's Flamey from down in the pit to lock it in for Na'Vi. They take this series 2-1. Nuke might have been a slow start.